Hello. Now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at PvZ. I just showed two PvTs, one serious, one just absolutely dominating. That was a lot of fun. 121 probes is ridiculous to have at the end of a game. 121 probes. But we're gonna go ahead and take a look at PvZ now. Right now it's gonna be a ladder game, and this guy ended up being awesome. Azazel, not Azazel, so I need to go ahead and fix his name. But still, he's actually a really cool guy. I actually talked to him a lot in this game, and after the game, me and him talked for a while just about the game and what could have happened differently to have for it to have a different outcome. I'm not going to spoil it, but we're going to go ahead and just be happy with this. He's actually a friend of a friend on StarCraft, which is kind of cool. You can see him talking about Fusebox, because right now he's going to say, have you heard of Impulse IMP? So we're going to talk about this game. It's going to be fun. This is a very, very solid macro style that I really, really enjoy. It's kind of Zerg-esque in a few respects, which is kind of fun. They're going to go ahead and watch me play against the Zerg with it. I get a ton of probes. I macro a lot. I'm slightly aggressive in the early game, but it's nothing crazy. There's also a few really good things I want to point out in terms of how to use force fields, other various PvZ stuff that matter a lot in the matchup, that can really, really win you games or lose you games depending on whether they go well or not. Um, right now for scouting, you can see that I'm going to go ahead and push forward and see that he's got no gases and just is getting his spawning pool. I don't want him to get a really fast hatchery, so I'm just moving around, darting around that probe and just happily just seeing what's going on. It's nothing crazy I'm really focusing on. It's just, are there anything that I think I really see? Now I'm just going to go ahead and just be aggressive with the probe, not really committing at all to it, just doing something with my hands. Also, I'm going for a 1-gate expansion. Even though it's Shakura's Plateau, I still go for the 1-gate expand. The only map I don't do that on is Tyler Malter, but I go for the 1-gate expand because I think it's a lot better build. You get a lot more versatility out of it, and you're going to see something I can definitely do with it. And that is really annoying to pop down and see that you already got the expansion down. I thought I would actually stop that. But another thing to note is with my wall off in the front, that's because of 6 pools. I can get a really nice wall off with the Forge, Cybernetic Core, Pylon, and Cannon, and it's completely 6 pool proof. So now I'm darting around my probe. I'd seen this, the fact that the expansion went down. I know it's going to have lings on the field, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it alive, keep it accessible for some good, solid proxy pylons if I really want to. And notice how I'm keeping it in the middle of the field. I'm actually going to quickly pause this for a second and just make the point of, if Link's going to go ahead and scout around, they'll go around the edges thinking that the probe's going to be as hidden as possible, and if you look at the vision, this actually completely misses the probe. Well, I actually should have it being right here, but if they follow the edges, it'll miss the probe and move around there and think there's nothing. I've seen people hide it here, but the Ling will see it because the Ling runs down here. And this is actually what I think is one of the better spots. Few people really do check that. So it's another thing to note for your probe if you want to go put it out there, because it lets you be aggressive specifically with how this is about to go. You're going to go ahead and be able to watch the fact that I'm going to be going for a little bit of aggression after my 1-gate expansion, because I'm going for chrono boosting out my sentries and not my cybernetic core. This allows me to get up a healthy count of sentries off of initially 1 gate. Allows me to defend. I'll use SimCity in the front to help defend my natural expansion by placing down my next set of gateways. And actually, an edit to this build that I've done on Shakura's Plateau is actually building my pylon on the low ground here, putting my first gateway here, and then Cybernetics Core and doing it like that. So I basically have the wall off for my natural faster, but it still can actually sometimes fool a person into thinking that it's a Forge expansion, which is an added bonus, but it's not something I really stress over it at all. It simply allows me to be able to push forward and usually take out his third base with a little push that's not even close to being all in. Now we're going to watch them go ahead and continue mining. And notice that I'm continuing to chrono mouse the sentries. You're going to see the strength of the push I'm going to be able to utilize with the sentry count being where it will be. So right now I'm just going to be throwing down my next couple gates in a second. I'm just happily producing. And the thing is, you're going to see use of important force fields. Notice how my probe in the top left is still alive. And I'm getting my second, third gates out. I can now block off the front with those couple units. I need to get those sentries back, though. They're kind of in a really horrible spot that I don't like at all. Move back. There we go. Now moving back. Got my Zealot in the front, and now it's pretty solid. I'm not worrying about over that being perfect. Also, I actually don't need to build a pylon right now. You see, I do, but I can also just wait for the Nexus to finish. I just figure it's good to not have one pylon alone in the front, just in case of a banelink bust or something, which is possible. I'm also adding a late 4th gate. It's not exactly the best way to be aggressive in this case, but I'm still pretty confident that's going to be fine. And I'm also going to go ahead and work on taking down that, yes, there we go, force field. It's always great to take out overlords, but you can't be too greedy with it. And, for example, I do that force field because I'm aware of that. I saw that the things were coming up. I saw them trying to commit to the front. And now here comes in the sentries. Probe is still alive. I have access to putting down a proxy pylon. I can push out with 4 gates once my 4th gate actually finishes. You can see us being friendly, and he's just frustrated with the fact that I got that force field down in time to block off those links. Still, 2 links, it's a loss that he can definitely afford. It's not all in at all for him to try and push in, but you see me blocking off the front. I'm now going to be able to push down. You can see that I'm starting hallucination, which is really, really key. I need that possibility to scout before the robo gets down. I need that ability to see where his army is, because I'm about to do a very risky thing, moving out with all of my sentries. So I'm going to have this 8 sentry push with a few other units, and my probe is still alive in the top left, so say hello to a pylon and also a scout. I should be moving forward to see if he has a 3rd base or not. And I'm also pushing out first with my zealot and a stalker alone. Those 2 units alone will be really, really key, because he doesn't see my army, he doesn't see me committing to attack. I'm just taking the watchtowers, which can be enough to scare a zerg, but now notice my hallucination is done. I can now send out hallucinating phoenixes around, look for his army, look for his strength, to see if he's going for a crazy all-in push, if I need to retreat to keep my sentries alive, yada yada yada. I need to be able to respond. So now we're going to have me seeing that, pushing forward. I see not a lot of units. I've got my my pylon up. I see that base is going down. I'm going to throw down one more pylon, which serves 2 purposes. One of the purposes is the fact that it's a proxy pylon, which in itself is great. It can warp in units. The other thing is I can scout for his army pushing in to catch my army off guard. My pylon will be a warning sign, because he'll attack that before he hits my army, because odds are he'll A-move, and if not, I'll be able to see them. So I'm see him pushing forward. I've got my sentries alive. Force field the ramp, keep him out there. Unfortunately, my probe dies, but I'm not really too stressed over that. You can see me waiting to cast the forces, though I can easily reinforce now with the top pylon that's still there. I'm going to be able to move down here and be aware I can kill all the broodlings before they can do any damage to me. I'm also warping in stalkers back there in case he decides to push in that direction. But now here comes key force fields, blocking off those units, pulling back. I'm not trying to box his army in and deal damage that way. I'm simply just staying aware, keeping his army, make sure he can't attack. And now I've got those links locked in. I take them out. I can easily warp in more stalkers. I gotta be careful about where my army goes. If he catches me off guard and kills those sentries, the game is done. I have lost, even though I've killed off a base. It's not an even trade. Those sentries are vital. So now you see me looking at the army. I can see in the minimap that he's there. Do a couple more force fields, make sure he can't attack, and just being aggressive. And notice I retreat left at first. I retreat to the proxy pylon where he's going. I know, or yeah, so he can't cut me off guard. So now I'm going to go to see those. You can see me shift queuing down there. I've got a lot of stalkers still alive. I'm now going to start mining for my gases and be pretty standard. But look at this. In the back, I have a Forge, a Twilight Council, a Robo, down or coming up. I have a transition. I'm going to take down the pylon, move my units back in. Unfortunately, that supply box meant I wasn't smart enough to actually put down more pylons in advance. Still, not a big deal at all. I'm going to work on taking out my my 3rd soon, get the 3rd up soon. But I've got Blink going down. I'm going to have a lot of units here. I'm actually in a good position, but it's still a little precarious if he's going to go ahead and push in and catches me off guard. My army position, angle of engagement, scouting are going to be key to make sure I don't just give him the game by not looking at the minimap and having him be able to snipe off all my sentries. Because that's what I'm defending with right now, sentries. And that's it. I've got little DPS from the Stalkers, but Stalkers against Roaches, unless the Stalkers have Blink and Force Field support, the Roaches will destroy. It's just how it is. So I'm going to see this army coming in. I'm going to go ahead and really keep an eye on that. I'm going to move in, do a few forces. I actually want to block the units so you can see him chopping off 2 Roaches, but it's not that much. Half of it is just a show of threat. I'm not really committing to any kind of push. I just want to make him feel scared. But here's another weakness right now is I should be scouting. I should have the Hallucinating Phoenix moving in to look at his army composition. Right now I'm just holding the watchtower and thinking defend, defend, defend. I see his roaches, I don't see anything else. and I'm feeling solid. However, if you look in the production tab, you can see a Hydra Den, which is the counter to what I'm doing. I'm kind of aware of that. It's one of the reasons why I'm throwing down the cannons, because I already have detection with the observer for any kind of burrowed roach shenanigans. It's just straight up, I have an army, which is important. So you can see he's got a superior food count, which is what Zerg's going to have in this period of the game, even with you taking out the third. I'm going to be able to move in. I see his army. I know where he's coming to attack, and unfortunately I'm about to lose that Immortal, which is obviously a frustrating pickoff, but here comes some important... I'm actually slow down this video a lot for this, but you can watch how his battles can be controlled. I block off the topmost roaches. I block in those roaches on the right. See, a lot of them dancing around. I'm able to pick them off. I have Blink at this point, which is huge. I'm going to work in. I have, I think I actually have 2 robos out, or something along those lines. I can see me moving in, making sure the roaches... I actually missed that middle force, so that middle force I should have been down a lot sooner, and then this battle would have gone a lot more in favor, but I can just blink back stalkers individually. I'm going to lose my sentries, but I have to in order to keep my army alive. See me blinking back individually, doing just fine in that respect. And now I'm going to go ahead and move in, but my third's up. I haven't been able to transfer probes because they would have died if I did. But still, I'm going to be able to move forward, blinking forward, taking down roaches. I can take out a few of the hurt ones, and what's fun is actually that my cannon gets an Overlord kill, which is not exactly something that's strategically important, but it's similar to me being happy when my probe gets a kill while it's harassing somebody in the early game. So you can see that my double robo is up. I think I want to go double robo immortal, but then I think I actually want to emphasize gateway units more. I don't really like Colossi. I only get them in the face of Hydras, and he's getting Hydras, so I need to get up those Colossi. Which I will be doing, but right now you can see me just getting out the double immortal. Adding into my hotkey. I'm very low gateway right now because I was trying to emphasize more sentries, but now that I've lost the sentries, that's another reason why I need to add those gateways and replenish those units. You can see me right now getting 4 sentries immediately. I've now got my probes coming in. As you look at the probe count right now, it's 73 probes to 73 drones. A lot of people just stop building probes right now, but you can see I'm going to continue going because I'm a macro fool, which is just fine. I mean, it's one of those styles that you can play. But I'm getting out my upgrades. It should be either... I think this is +2 now that's starting, chronoing out. My actually overlay's in the way, but let's see. Yeah, it's +2 that's on the way. Warping in more units. I've got my gateways in my hotkey to see that. And notice I just looked over his army and saw the Hydras, and I'm panicking, going, oh god, I need Colossi. I don't have time to get up Psystorm. I don't have time to get up the energy for those High Templar. I have to get Colossi. I need to defend until then. I've got double Robo Immortals, which is a nice bit of DPS, even though Hydras counter Immortals. The fact that the Mortals are there, I think actually... there you go, counter Immortals. But now you can see that I'm going to focus on getting out those Immortals because I need that kind of DPS. They still deal nice damage, they still take a lot of damage from the roaches, and they kill roaches very, very quickly. I have that Proxy Pylon still alive, so I'm going to go ahead and just lay time by sending in Zealots. I'm keeping an eye on his army, making sure that he doesn't move out, and you can see me constantly going back and forth, looking at the strength of them, see if I can defend it or not. I'm going to be warping in more Zealots, but I'm supply blocked, and it's frustrating. It's annoying because I'm really nervous at this point, because I've got to be able to defend, I've got to be able to push, and I see that that's a change. I'm going to go ahead and kill it with a probe. Love when workers get kills. And my pylon's about to finish, and that means Zealot time. That means Zealot time. There's the Zealot time. So I'm going to push in. I'm still buying time. My charge is almost done. I've got Immortals being made right now. I'm actually getting them instead of Colossi. I'm getting my DT Shrines. So I can move in and harass with that. So I'm going to play a harassment game. You see me pushing in, attacking. Should probably boost my speed up again. There we go. Now my speed's up higher and more accurate. I also see that that Overlord is there, which is why I send my probe up top. Let's look at my probe count also right now. It's 81. I've now got more probes than he does. Even though he's Zerg. I'm gonna go ahead and target fire a few drones. It's just buying time. That's all I want to do right now. You can see me getting out my Colossi now. I've got a whole nice chunk of Immortals. I've got 5 Immortals. That's a nice bit of against anti-roach DPS. Plus, I'm starting my +3 attack and getting my 4th base. It's kind of passive, but I'm doing it with a lot of awareness. I still have that watchtower. I'm watching his army pushing forward, and now look at the minimap. You can see him moving in. Something you've got to do is check the minimap. I look at his army immediately. I look at the fact that he has those infestors, and that's kind of worrisome. I don't really have much that I can do against Infectus right now. I don't have High Templar out or anything. I've got DT Shrine on the way to harass, but that doesn't really counter those fungals and everything. Still, I'm working on getting out my my Colossi. That's kind of what I'm going for. I'm going for a nice army, double Robo Colossus. I've got 5 Immortals. I'm good against roaches, and sort of. I mean, granted, if they get controlled rightly, I'm going to be dead anyway, but still, I have those initial 4 sentries. I lost my sentries, warped in 4 more, and that was it. My gas is better allocated other ways. I'm gonna say in other ways. That's probably better. See how it's 2 in the morning. Actually, holy God, it's 2:30 in the morning. I need to go to bed. Still, moving forward right now, just killing creep, blink stalkers. I'm not worried too much about not being able to do anything. I'm scouting with them. And I've now got Thermal Lance. With Extended Thermal Lance, I feel a lot better to be aggressive. I got 2 Colossi about to go ahead and attack, and I'm going to go ahead and do a push fairly soon while I bring all but 1 probe to go ahead and mine down there. So I've now got 3 probes in each of those geysers. I feel good right now. 4 bases mining is pretty solid. I'm going to bring in more probes. I've got enough to saturate everywhere. I've now got 85 probes, so I'm definitely looking solid. Actually, I think I just produced more. Yeah, I've now got 86 probes out. So I'm definitely feeling comfortable right now. I'm supply blocked again, but I'm supply blocked at max, which is very different from supply blocked elsewhere. So expand again time and push. I'm going to see the Broodlords. I'm like, that's fine. I've got Blink Stalkers. Let's target some Broods, deal some damage. And I honestly know I'm going to lose this battle. Let's just imagine what damage can I do before I lose the battle. So I'm going to push in. I'm going to keep my Immortals and Colossi alive. I lose my Stalkers and retreat. But look at that. All my Immortals are still alive. I still have 5 Immortals and 5 Colossi in my food count. I only lost about 50 food. That was mostly Zealots and Stalkers in the Sentries, so I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm going to remax. I'm building more gateways. I've got, I think, another Colossi just popped on the field. Yeah, never mind. I think that was there. I just didn't have in the hockey before. But still, now it's time to move out with DTs. I can't be aggressive right now with a full army, so time to do a little bit more delay tactics as if I was a Zerg, and send out DTs to be annoying, but he's got an Overseer, and that doesn't work very well. But still, I have the DT threat now. I can go ahead and show that I can harass well and deal damage in that respect. So now I've got another Colossi moving, and I'm also getting another Immortal. I'm not saying strictly Colossi because he has Broodlords, which means he has capacity to get a lot of Corruptors, which means he has capacity to counter my Colossi. Now I'm pushing in. That was actually really bad control of my Stalkers. I'm not exactly stressing over that too much. I'm just going to go ahead and once again deal damage, kill his ground army, and retreat with most of my Colossi and Immortals alive. Which is all I want to do right now. Notice I still have 5 Immortals and those Colossi. I will be retreating now. And you also notice I have them all on different hotkeys. I actually just lost an Immortal, I think. Yeah, I built another one though, so it's fine. Actually, I'm getting 2 Robo Immortals because I can use the Immortals to kill off the Roaches, either Stalkers to kill off the Broodlords with Blink. I now have all of this, these bases up, so I've got a nice solid income. I'm now building 4 more probes. You can see me getting out a ton more Stalkers. I'm feeling pretty confident that this is a position that I'm comfortable in. I'm back to max. I have the Colossi, I have Immortals, and I have the Stalkers. I'm not worrying about force fields, I'm not worrying about anything fancy. It's just be aggressive in the face of this Zerg. I'm not going to push in. I need to go ahead and start worrying about mine. I'm going to blink forward and take out the Broodlords. But look at my anti-Roach army. I've got so many Immortals, so many Colossi. I just need to deal with the Broodlords, and I'm doing that well. I've got my +3 attack. I think I have armor upgrades as well. And you can see me getting a ton more Stalkers. I'm going to kill off most of those Broods and blink forward and doing there. That blink was really to bring my reinforcements closer to everything, and his Broodlords are slow, so I can move down and not worry about the fact that my Colossi and Immortals are rather undefended at this point. It's just, let's do some damage. So I'm going to be able to push in. You can see me, once again, reinforcing, warping in just Stalkers, because I have a very powerful army. I can blink forward and kill off, actually I guess I don't blink, but I can still kill off those units. Colossi are getting hit by the Corruptors, I can retreat there. Notice he has 100+ Lings in production right now. That's more of a worry than anything else. However, let's look at the capacity of what units I can get right now. He's got those 106 Lings coming in that I'm not aware of. However, here we go. We've got all of these gateways. I mean, I'm not even selecting them all. I think we've got those ones. There were 12 gateways. That's a pretty healthy thing to be able to have. I've got a solid amount of income, 99 probes mining. I've got double robos, and I have a lot of upgrades. Right now, where's my army? There's my army. I'm sitting at 3-1 upgrades, getting out the shields upgrades for the possibility of, what's that? Archons. I love Archons. Archons are awesome. So I have the DT Shrine. I can morph in a lot of Archons. I've already have Charge and I have Blink. I have the Charge for a really important reason. Charge is important because of the fact that if a situation arises where you need Zealots, you can't have them useless. The Charge is required because if we're going to say reinforce with 100 plus Lings, you need to be able to handle that without just Stalkers and Colossi. Because granted, Colossi are great against Lings, Stalkers are not. Stalkers die very quickly. Zealots, Archons, you need that capacity. I have that, I'm solid. And we're going to go ahead and continue watching this, as I just wanted to emphasize that point with the big screen. So now we're going to push in. I'm going to be aggressive. You're going to see me killing off a few drones. And I'm now just going to go ahead and take these idle guys, work on getting out my Templar archives. Look at how many probes I have. This is a really big bonus to having so many probes on the field. Right now I'm at 102. Which isn't exactly great in terms of your optimal strength army. It's great in terms of the fact that if I get harassed and lose probes, not a big deal. Also, you can see me sending DTs. Like, I started to press escape, but you can see what I was selecting. But I'm now sending DTs to a bunch of different bases at once. You can see the mini-map, them spreading. One main, one natural, one third, and one to probable fourth. The ones to the third and probable fourth die because of all those spines and everything, but now I've got this guy going to go ahead and deal a little bit of damage. I'm now target firing, shift queuing to hit those drones, because that's all I really want to do right now. The guy in the main is happily whacking away at some stuff. I'm not even looking at him. It doesn't even matter. The whole point is I'm distracting him. That's what I want to accomplish with those DTs, is distraction, buy time, so I can get up another base. Also, that DT that's attacking those rocks in the top right, he should be queued. Yeah, he's queued to do this. Take out those rocks with his crazy amount of damage, 60 damage per shot. Even though the structural rocks having 3 armor, that means 57 damage to the debris. And then he gets to go ahead and sit here and prevent the Zerg from ever getting this base unless he's going to have detection and just be awesome in that respect. So we're going to see me pushing forward. I'm going to go ahead and start darting forward. I'm looking about bases to hit, where I can hit, and I can see a nice bunch of these Broodlords going to go ahead and be vulnerable. I've got Colossi, and here come the huge amount of Lings, and that's kind of worrisome. It's a great angle of engagement, but I can't retreat right now, so I'm just like, okay, watch should I warp in 8 Zealots, and it should be DTs or High Templar. There we go, High Templar after that, and it's going to be Zealot Archon now. I'm going to be able to get Zealots, Archons, Chrono Boost all of my, wait, I didn't start reaching Sidestorm. I just Chrono Boosted out my Temple Archives without Sidestorm starting. That's a misclick. But still, now I'm going to go ahead and transfer a bunch of probes, get mining from this other base as well, and continue warping more units. Right now, I'm seeing those 3 Zealots, Stalkers. I'm balancing out what I want because of the Broodlords as well, and I just have to wait a few warping cycles, and then I'm okay to engage. We're going to see me pushing forward the army, get to control the watchtower once again. We're going to have that one Ling move in, and I don't have any anything to really engage there, but look at that, I just use probes. And they're going to shift, go back, mine, doesn't matter if I lose them. I have 105 probes on the field. So now, once again, we're going to be seeing the fact that he has all those Lings. He's going to push in and watch where they go. They're going to go ahead and attack, harass my 5th base, and I'm going to lose all my probes there. So now I'm down to 78 probes. Oh no, I'm back to the count that you're supposed to be at. So I'm not exactly worried about that. I just killed a good solid 29 probes, and I really don't care. I'm getting more upgrades out. You can see I'm now working on my next level of shields. Yeah, it says shields level 2. I should have armor level 1 or 2. Yeah, 2 armor, 1 shields. I'm now really looking solid in terms of upgrades and everything. And now he's got a lot of Broodlords. I retreat, and I'm going to go ahead and warp in a bunch of Stalkers now. Because I have that capacity, I have that income, and I have that really solid just production facilities. Plus I got more Colossi to help against the Lings. He's going Ling Broodlord. I can decimate that with charge lots, Colossi, Stalkers, and Archons easily. See me blinking forward, I have that +3 attack. Broodlords are getting one-shotted really easily. You can see me shift queuing to take them out. And look at this. My zealots are not even able to be surrounded by the links. They're killing everything too quickly, and I can warp in a bunch more DTs that should all be turning into Archons essentially in a second. And the position I'm in is beautiful. DTs, Archons, all of them. And when have you ever seen 6 Archons just being morphed right off the bat because I want Archons? It's a great thing to be able to do. And now, 84 probes, I'm now maxed, and look at the strength difference of my army, maxed at, with I'm not quite maxed, but still, 2 DTs, 10 Archons, a Colossi, 11 Stalkers, 9 Zealots. I can pretty much take out any low economy Zerg army with this mix without too much trouble. These guys are so key. Actually, this is a fun thing. Let's take a look at those Archons without their really nice, just thing on the outside. I like when that glitch happens because they look really cool even without the energy around them, the psionic energy around them. So I'm going to go ahead and watch that. My army's now going to coalesce, warp in more units, and the second I hit max again, I'm going to go ahead and push. You can see how he's down to 57 drones. I'm really able to do a lot more than he's able to. Now I'm maxed with an additional bunch of Stalkers and Zealots, and I feel pretty powerful right now. Plus I have those DTs looking at those bases to make sure that you can't get those. Another thing that I can do is expand to the top middle, because I've shut that down. You now see me attacking down here. I've got all those Archons. Fungals will do almost nothing to the Archons. Warping in Stalkers, because they move the fastest, and they'll get to that place quickest. I'm currently using out those upgrades. I've got more Colossi on the way. I'm going to be able to come in and deal a whole lot of damage. He calls GG, and I'm looking really solid. Once again, I can easily expand up here, expand down here. I've shut down this base. I have constant vision of this base through this watchtower and everything, but I end up winning in a pretty cool fashion in a really close game. The food counts were never very much in my favor until it started getting to the end. And you can see how the harassment didn't hurt me at all. It actually helped me. See, my spread of probes is pretty solid between all those bases, and my income at the final moment of the game is 2,000 plus. I'm sure it peaked at a lot higher, maybe not 106 probes, but still the economy is what really makes this style strong. I'm not going strictly Zealot Stalker with it or anything. It's with a good solid army composition, awareness, heavy emphasis on the sentries, heavy emphasis on the sentries in the early part of the game to really defend, and being smart with those movements of those sentries is incredibly key. My force fields were not offensive force fields. They were defensive force fields in an offensive position, which is a really important distinction to make, because if I was being offensive with them, I would have done the second set of force fields that I did when he was outside of my natural expansion, where I boxed in that group of roaches so they only had like 1, 2, or 3 of them attacking, while there was a good solid 10 of them just darting around behind, being locked in by force field AI, and then I could just easily kill those and be in a much better position. So keep an eye on your force field use, keep an eye on your economy, look at what your opponent's doing, and get the scouts earlier than I did. The fact that I saw those Hydras late is really unfortunate. I was able to delay enough with harassment and just being able to show a good solid meaty force that it's not a big deal, but just be aware of those weaknesses of your own play. Hope you guys learned, hope this helped, hope you like your Zerg playing Protoss, or Protoss playing like a Zerg person that I like to be. Hope you guys learned, and say thank you very much for watching. I can pretty much end this pretty bad outro. Thank you. Oh, I probably just killed the whole video. My apologies. Bye-bye.